Today, we invite you to discover a fascinating fusion of ancient and modern, East and West. Hong Kong is a city where food and fashion, arts and culture, nature and science meet. Hong Kong was, until 1997, a colony of the United Kingdom, and you can still feel and see its heritage. We start our journey in the Peak Tram, one of the world's oldest and most famous funicular railways. The Peak offers a fabulous panoramic view of the surroundings of Hong Kong. Another emblematic building from the British presence is Flagstaff House. Built in 1846, it's the oldest Western-style architecture remaining in the city. It used to be the residence of the commander of the British forces during colonial times. Today, it's become the Museum of Teaware. Another heritage site is the Asia Society Hong Kong Centre in Admiralty. It used to be the explosives magazine compound of the old Victoria Barracks. Through careful conservation and adaptive reuse, the site has been successfully transformed into a cultural, artistic and intellectual hub that promotes dialogue on cross-cultural understanding through a wide range of activities.
We have a very rich Chinese culture, but then we also have a British influence because Hong Kong used to be a British colony since 1842. And then up to 1997, Hong Kong was returned to China. So we have a sort of East meets West culture, very strong in that. And we have also a small city, but a large population. We have over 7 million people living in this city. And one of the things that I'd like to talk about will be the dining or the culinary characteristic of Hong Kong. We have something like more than 20,000 restaurants in this small city. And Hong Kong love to eat. Hong Kong people love to eat. And most of the time, when we have any celebration, when we want to treat our friends or relatives, we go out and eat outside. So this is kind of a culture in Hong Kong. In the last few years, on top of dining, we also talk about wine. And in particular, since 2008, when we leave the wine duties. And starting from 2009, we start to organize this event, the Wine and Dine Festival, first time ever in the year of 2009.
To the cameras, to your right.
So when you go around the festival, you will notice, apart from food, apart from wine, we also have entertainment. And the whole idea is to create a relaxed ambience when people can enjoy themselves with good wine from around the world, and also local dishes, whereby they can pair the local dishes with imported wine.
We've been attending since 2009, and we're back again, and bigger each time, because we see such value in this wine fair. I love the fact that we're talking to customers. There'll be close to 200,000 people coming through, and they're all people that have paid good money to come and learn more about wine and experience wines from all over the world. Well, people here have become more and more interested in wine. There's always been a wine culture in Hong Kong. It's an ex-British colony. There's always been wine here. But since the removal of all taxes on wine in 2008, there's been an explosion in interest in wine. The government has really pushed to try and make Hong Kong the Asian centre of wine. It used to be Tokyo, maybe Singapore, but now clearly Hong Kong's #1.
At the Hong Kong Wine and Dine Festival, we also discover numerous new talents seeking innovative products. Let's meet them.
Basically, we have an idea of bringing the happiness and enjoyment to our customers. So not only just having the good quality cheese, but having a fun way of having cheese toast. So we decided to put in some good quality cheese from France with a different flavoring, and which look like rainbow colors, like blue, red, and orange, and yellow, etc., etc. So when people having their own cheese toast, they are thinking about, oh, I'm going to have a beautiful day.
So this cocktail, I used 3 different types of the chamomile, infused in white wine and vodka for about 4 months. Eatable chamomile on top of it, so more nicer, and with the drink as well. So you can, when you finish the drinks, you can eat it as well. So you can smell it in all the applewood smoke. So before you drink, of course, once after you drink, you got all the smoky taste in there as well.
While night is falling, the festival starts to warm up. More and more visitors. In this festival, Western chefs are also present. Chef Edgar Sanui brought us flavors from Spain.
This octopus, we have cooked it sous vide, and then we finish it in a grill. We're gonna put some salt, a little bit of Spanish smoked and sweet paprika, pork skin, which is being boiled and then dehydrated and deep fried, which is crispy. And on the top of the pork skin, we're gonna add some spring onion to give some volume.
Time to say goodbye to the festival and move on to another side of the city. PMQ is a site with several layers of historical significance. Housing the first school in Hong Kong to provide Western education for Chinese students, it was destroyed during World War II. In the 1950s, 2 blocks of police married quarters were built here, which are now revitalized into the current design and fashion hub. It provides a stage for createpreneurs to start their own business. We have a rendezvous with a local famous fashion designer.
I have my brand for 6 years now, actually. And in the beginning, we are in a very small studio in some unknown industrial building. And then since 2 years ago, we moved into PMQ, which allowed us to have our own shop and also our studio together in the same space. So we found it actually very different compared with we only have our own studio without having any visitors. Because in PMQ, we got many interesting feedback from new people, from travelers from international, different countries.
Yeah, I can see the IFC for sure, yeah.
And
so this is silk?
Yeah. For myself, I'm actually go around Hong Kong very often and try to find more inspiration and elements from different parts of Hong Kong.
Another day has risen. In the early morning, we left the city for a more peaceful environment. Following this road of beautiful and peaceful landscapes, we reached the Hong Kong Unesco Global Geopark. Inaugurated in 2009 with around 50 square kilometers of 8 geo areas, this park was recognized as a member of the Global Geoparks network in 2011. We'll stop at one of the 8 geo areas, Hai Island, known for its nature and leisure.
The Hong Kong Geopark is also a good leisure place for the Hong Kong people. The Hong Kong people will come to here for jogging, running, and of course they will come to here to learn about the geology of Hong Kong.
At the east dam of Hai Island, there's one of the world's most impressive hexagonal volcanic rock columns.
About 140 million years ago, the volcano erupted and spewing out a large amount of lava and volcano ash. So the lava chamber collapsed and gradually forming the hexagonal rock columns. The hexagonal rock columns here is different from the other parts of world's rock columns. It's because difference in the chemistry. The rock columns here is full of with high silica content, which looks lighter.
Still far from the city center, we took the Ngong Ping cable car, where we can admire a spectacular 360-degree panoramic view of North Lantau Country Park. A day at the Ngong Ping village can't be complete without a visit to the Chanting Buddha, the world's largest outdoor bronze-seated statue of Buddha. Constructed from 202 bronze pieces, the statue weighs over 250 tons and soars 34 meters. In this spiritual break, we're invited to learn how to really experience tea drinking.
At the bottom is the green tea, and the red flower is lily, and this is jasmine. Because this is a green tea base, so the taste will a little bit lighter than the normal Chinese tea. Okay, now the tea is ready.
Returning to the city centre, we stop at the Man Mo Temple, a historical temple that has been performing important social functions from the early days of Hong Kong until today. Simon Ng will tell us why.
This temple was built in 1847. There is two gods. God of Manchong, responsible for the silver. They have a god of Mudai for the martial. This temple have a lot of renovation. In 2010, it becomes a monument in Hong Kong. A lot of people, they visit this temple for their children because they believe when they touch the pen, they will become careful and have a good result in their examination, also have a good prospect for their career. For the other god, Mudai from that side, okay. People believe that they responsible for the loyalty and wealth. So a lot of businessmen, they will come to here to worship these two gods.
We were told that we can't leave Hong Kong without trying the dim sum. We could compare the dim sum experience to something between a breakfast and a brunch. In fact, most of the restaurants in Hong Kong serve dim sum starting at 5 o'clock in the morning. Dim sum is part of Hong Kong dining and heritage.
Dim sum is a very traditional Canton food, and we normally have it in weekends in the morning, and we usually go with some tea. So that's why we go yum cha in English.
Hong Kong is without any doubt a destination full of surprises.